Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star Wars: The Force of Evil, Samurai Jack, and Adventure Time, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And April Collins.
Hi.
Today, Sam, April, and I will be discussing the first two episodes of the Adventure Time Elements miniseries, Skyhooks and a Bespoken 4. We're covering all of Elements here on the Overly Animated Podcast every night this week. That is airing 2 nights a week, Monday to Thursday. We covered Orb last week. Check out all of our Adventure Time discussions at overlyanimated.com, or subscribe to us at overlyanimated.com/iTunes. To also subscribe to our Adventure Time specific iTunes feed. Buckle up for all of Elements with us. We will be getting into all of it this week, but first discussing Skyhooks and Bespoken 4 parts 1 and 2. Spoilers for those episodes, but nothing beyond, So let's get right into Elements here. This is a lot. This is a lot right away. What was your reaction to everything being candified, Sam?
That is a world I would like to live in. I think that would be pretty sustainable for the world itself, because if everything's made out of food, nobody can go hungry.
But don't they have to eat themselves? Is that...
I think that's called cannibalism. I meant more like the ground and trees and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting to see how, you leave for like 10 minutes and suddenly, your home just turns into nothing. I think this is everybody's like worst fear at some point. You leave for 5 seconds and suddenly everything goes to crap when you get back. And you gotta fix it. Because, that's what you do. You're the one who fixes the things. Yep, and I'm sure Finn and Jake feel...
Oh, yeah.
Sam's Finn right now, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What's your reaction, April, to all the candy?
I was honestly, super creeped out by the whole episode.
Yeah.
Why? Why was it...
I don't know. I think the tone of it mixed with the abundance of pink was very horrifying for me. Not that there's anything against the color pink or anything like that, but it was just I don't know, it felt very unsettling to me for them to come back and of course everything's just gone haywire. And yeah, and then I remember I had a moment where I was like, oh, of course BMO loves this.
Yeah. I think that does make sense, yeah. I somehow avoided being spoiled on what this miniseries was about. Yeah, I was surprised that everything was candy and that we're going straight into this. This was right into the action. I agree it was creepy. No, because how is Tower Bubblegum and Marshmallow not creepy? I think that they were unsettling.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Definitely a big tower of Princess Bubblegum is very unsettling.
Yeah, that one at least was unsettling.
With her little arms too, just coming out of her face.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they weren't even like her pink bubble gum arms. They were regular arms, and I was not about into it, especially because I had watched Orb right before that, and they almost foreshadowed it in Orb in Finn's nightmare, and I was like, oh, now I feel even worse about the whole thing.
That's true. We're looking for connections to Orb, and we've already got one with the weird bubblegum, I guess.
Yeah.
Sam, what are your overall thoughts, enjoyment wise, of parts 1 and 2 of Elements?
I really enjoyed them a lot, more than I thought I was going to. I wasn't really expecting, at least for the second part, to enjoy a story with Ice King so much. And I feel like I personally kind of underrate Ice King a lot, because he's just he's Ice King, he's, not really a good person, and he's kind of boring, and I don't really like when they bring him in. But time and time again, I find, when I actually watch an episode with him, it's more he's pretty hashtag relatable. And, I can definitely relate to his shortcomings socially and, how he acts and how he thinks. And I definitely feel like he is a character that we don't really Like, we don't, like, how they said in the episode, like, Betty doesn't, like, appreciate who Ice King is. Like, she can only remember Simon. And that's how I feel like the fans and how the fandom is. Like, they appreciate Simon more than they do Ice King. And that's how I've been feeling. And maybe it's time to appreciate Ice King more. That's how I feel.
Sam, gaining a greater appreciation for Ice King.
I love it because Ice King's, like, in the beginning of, like, the entire series, he, like, I think I agree with Sam, like, he wasn't one of my favorite characters, like, at all, but he is definitely, like, he's my most favorite character, I think, if I had to pick one.
Your favorite Adventure Time character, Ice King.
My favorite Adventure Time character is Ice King, just because... But yes. Yeah.
So how did you feel about these 2 episodes, April, and the very prominent showing for your fave Ice King?
I'm excited for them just because lately Ice King, they only ever talk about him in terms of like Simon. You know what I mean? Like, there's no differential between like Simon and Ice King, and so I especially enjoyed Bespoken for because there was that very like, it's like they're like, hey you guys, and then not just to like Betty but to like everyone, it was like, hey, they're not the same character, like you have to understand that now. And even like before that, like Marceline was sort of coming to terms with that. I mean, she still called him Simon and everything like that, but like it's one of those things where it's like, hey, look, Marceline did this, like, and now we're forcing Betty to do it, and so you guys have to as well. So I enjoy that like separation of the 2 characters. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to this whole Elemental miniseries.
Yeah, and in terms of enjoyment of the quality of the first 2, what do you think?
I enjoyed them. I mean, aside from being creeped out by Skyhooks, but I enjoyed them. They left me curious and like asking questions, and I think it's good whenever especially a miniseries can sort of like set themselves up in that way. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to answer so I think these were 2 really strong episodes. So definitely a lot of Ice King discussion to get to here. But not expecting to go into this miniseries this strong. Islands was incredible, but the beginning of it was okay. I think these first 2 episodes of Elements were really good. I think Bespoken 4 had most substance to it. Both Skyhooks and Bespoken 4, I think, legitimately great episodes of Adventure Time.
Skyhooks. That's like whenever you say it, I just want to say it like how he said it.
Yeah, it's Tom Kenny impressions going. Yeah,
Skyhooks.
This is a really good look for Ice King. These 2 episodes. I'm not. I guess. His
suit was great. I loved it.
I loved it too.
Oh, you said look, Dylan.
Yeah, he did have a good look with
a really good bespoke suit.
Yeah, he's jacked underneath his, I forgot what he called his robe.
Blue moo-moo.
His blue moo-moo.
Yeah. I like Ice King. I like the character. I don't think he's super sympathetic. These were 2 really strong showings for him. He was really funny, both episodes. Just calling the thing Skyhooks, I think really worked, and he used to tuck them in.
They hit him in his beard. Yeah.
That's a very Ice King joke, but I think it really worked. And then everything with, he just had a lot of great stuff in that second episode as well. I found him very funny and sympathetic. Really good showing from Ice King here. This could be a strong Ice King week. This could be the week of the Ice King. So
good.
Woo!
Good. Okay.
He's only in the intro for the miniseries.
He is in the intro, but so is Betty, and she is not here, right? So I don't know.
She's
what?
Here, but not. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I kind of wrote down that I hope to get answered. Is I'm like, okay, well, where's Betty now? Because she's in the intro.
She's in the flashback in the second episode, so we do see her, but we don't see her in the present.
Dead.
Yeah,
I would assume that she is not dead.
I mean, she got frozen in ice, so she probably did.
I don't think we're going to recast Betty just to kill her off immediately. That's what I would say.
Well, wasn't she like gone, and then like she came back, and now she's gone again? So I can only assume she's going to come back at some point.
Yeah, but very infrequent. Yeah, much like every character on the show, I think, just comes and goes in like chunks of 30 episodes. But yeah, Betty always a strong showing. You revoiced Felicia Day now as Betty here.
I went back and like listened to like the old voice by Lena Dunham. There's really no difference. I mean, Lena's like voice is a little bit more monotone and like subdued, but other than that.
I feel like I always heard Betty as Lena Dunham a little bit, and it does. I'm a big Girls fan, and just disappointed no Lena Dunham coming off the Girls series finale. But
didn't she have to like take a break because health or whatever?
I don't know what the situation.
I don't keep up with
her. But yeah,
I was like, I'm sure there's some reason as to why she. No, if I wanted to, I could research it.
Yeah, no, she was in the Girls finale and was great. But yes, but Felicia Day I think did a good job here.
I agree.
This isn't as frequent. This isn't a frequent enough character that you really notice the voice change. I would say.
That's what I was. Yeah, you're not going to notice unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
When it came to like the voice of Betty, I hadn't noticed that she had been recasted until after the fact that I had gone and looked it up, and I just saw that she had been recasted. So
yeah,
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I wonder how many other people didn't notice. We had a discussion in the patron group, so I had seen there that we were getting into that. But I don't think I would have noticed. Betty. It's been a while since Betty's been on the show. I would have noticed that she didn't sound like Lena Dunham. Anyway, so where do we want to start getting? So these are strong showings. Let's start on part one of with Skyhooks. I think strong episode names. Skyhooks and Bespoken 4. Bespoken 4, not a straight thing that was in the thing.
It's not like an actual, like, Bespoken, doesn't that, I don't know.
There's like spoken for and then this bespoke suit, I guess. Yeah. So,
yeah.
There's the thing. So let's run through all the candy people and give reactions to them.
Oh, good. I wrote them all down.
Good. Let's start with Lemon Pink, Justin Roiland back as Lemon Grab. Yeah, April, what was your reaction to Lemon Pink?
I thought it was hilarious. And I really enjoyed that he shouted, Sours get the tower.
Yeah.
And just started like a group chant, like, Sours get the tower, Sours get the tower. And I was like, you're a lemon. Like, aren't lemons naturally sour?
Yeah. This is, I like this concept of like, nice lemon grab. He wasn't really nice though, he was.
Well, here's what he said. He said, I used to be angry and sad, but now I'm fine.
Yeah.
In that voice.
Yeah, it was strong. He was squirting like the juice out of his.
Ew! Don't say that.
What word? Squirting the juice.
What did Finn call it? He's like, body don't juice. Drink those body juices or something like that.
Yeah, he was offended at that. Yeah.
Sam is offended.
Sam,
rightfully so.
Thoughts on Lemon Pink, Sam?
Since I tried watching Rick and Morty, I can't not hear them without hearing him, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
He sounds.
It was whatever. Pink Lemonade's fine, I guess. Whatever.
Oh yeah, Pink Lemonade.
I don't understand why the candy people had to change because he's already candy. So.
Yeah. It's we don't need to get into that. The technicality. Yeah. I guess he's does he count as candy? Seems like artificially
he's
created.
Just lemon drop thing. I don't know.
Drop, yeah. I'm always a big Lemon Grab fan, and we haven't seen him in a while, so this is a good showing.
I was going to say we haven't seen him in a few seasons.
Yeah, we need to research the last time we've seen him, but this was a strong showing here.
I'm sad, but now I'm fine. No,
that's not, workshop this impression.
Yeah, let's workshop that out.
Yeah,
You've got all week.
Yeah, we have more. Yeah, we have more. I don't think he'll be back. Maybe he will, but I don't. We'll see. We'll see how many people.
We'll see.
Let's talk. What was Tree Trunks?
Like ice cream sundae.
Yeah, I
don't know if it was like.
Then she melted, and it was.
Yeah. What? You didn't like that?
It was creepy.
Tree Trunks was creepy.
I thought Tree Trunks was the creepiest one. Especially when she was trying to cover Sweet Pea and caramel.
Oh, Sweet Pea.
I know.
Yeah, kind of like. I think that was fitting for Tree Trunks, like zombie Tree Trunks with the sundae. What's up with Sweet Pea not turning candy? What are our theories here?
Wouldn't it be because Sweet Pea the
lich?
Like a lich reborn or something like that? So that was my only like That was my theory as to why Sweet Pea didn't like change or wasn't changed in the process because of that.
Yeah, I guess the Lich powers protect him. I don't know. Makes sense.
I love him.
Yeah.
Do you love
He's
Sweet
my
Pea?
son.
Sweet Pea or the Lich?
I mean, Sweet Pea, obviously, because...
Yeah, Sweet Pea is great here.
Mama, I am normal.
Yeah, the workshop that one. Okay, Marshmalloon.
Shut up.
Marshmalloon.
Trooper.
Yeah, it was very outside of Marceline's character.
Pretty gay to be hanging around Bonnie like that, though.
Yeah, still the bubbling happening, even in candy form, just still right around. Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't find too much of a takeaway from Marshmalloon.
Yeah, I wasn't like overly impressed with that one. I guess it wasn't like shocking to me. I guess is what I'm trying.
She's
to
playing
say.
a banjo now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of guitar. Okay, I guess.
We get our Twilight Zone versions of all these characters. We have her. We have PB as the tower. I don't know if that counts as a candified person, but
Fern is like a.
Oh yeah, Fern.
Fern is now fun.
Fern and what's his face? The other
Shelby.
One, yeah. And Shelby, and also the other one.
Nectar.
Yeah. There you go. Nectar. Yeah.
Yep.
I think Gummy Worm Shelby was really fun.
I hate Shelby. Number 1. Number 2.
Wait. Okay.
What?
No. Continue.
Number 2. So there's like a leaking root beer in one of the scenes before like they show like all the candified versions of the people. Why is root beer considered to be candy? Does it have like something to do with like root beer floats or like? I don't understand. Why is root beer considered to be candy?
I think root beer has always been candy on the show.
I know, but like, why?
Root beer guy? Yeah, it counts. Whatever.
I understand, but why? Explain to me the candy properties of root beer.
Because it's sweet and root beer floats have ice cream in them, I guess, even though it's also not candy.
I was going to say, it probably has to do solely with its relationship with root beer floats and the fact that it's sweet.
Root beer, I love root beer personally. I'm just wondering, why is it candy?
Okay, I feel like there's larger questions, but maybe not.
I guess because they can't use like Coke or Pepsi or whatever.
Root beer is a general
They can just
thing.
They can use generic root beer.
Yeah, but what any other missing? What Fern and
Mr. Pig was a piñata.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that Fern existed, by the way, for hot.
Yeah, he's only been a person for like a couple episodes, so
it's been a while.
I was gonna say he hasn't been in existence for very long, and he wasn't there during Islands.
Yeah. Will we see Fern resolution in Elements? No, probably.
No, probably not.
We'll see. We'll see how many of these people we check in again with. But those were I think the main things from Skyhooks. And then it's the thing where the world is divided by the elemental stuff that we see in the next episode, done by Patience and her magic battery, I guess. And she like amplifies all of the elementals. This is we finally get our follow up to Elemental, which I think is one of the most consequential and interesting episodes of the show recently. I'm glad we're seeing, I forgot the status of Patience. I guess she's living with Ice King. So that's a thing.
Yeah. The roomies.
I was going to say, I forgot that as well. And then I was like, oh, look, Patience. Like, when did you move in with Ice King? Oops.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the potential for this character. I think I love Lauren Lapkus in this role, but it's hoping for some Patience development here. I'm patient for some Patience development. Yeah,
I don't like that.
No, okay.
No, because they used a similar pun in the second episode, Dylan. So don't.
They did. All we needed was a little patience.
Okay,
I don't like names that get turned into puns.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. So here's my thing with the second episode. We have Betty. I feel like Betty quickly gets over Ice King here with the advice of Tiny Manticore. And, This is very fast. And I think that we've had a lot of Betty still like trying to fix Simon. And now it's all like, nope, we're good now.
Okay. Back it up. Hold on. Pause. in Skyhooks, there was like a point where Finn was talking to Bonnie as she was like the tower, and he was like, "Yeah, you need to turn everybody back to normal." She was like, "No, I fixed them," and he was like, "Oh, why do people need to be fixed? Like you can't fix your friends." She was like, "Those being two things are not mutually exclusive or whatever." I think that's like a good like takeaway / theme, at least so far. You can't fix people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like even like with the candy people, they seem like quote unquote better. Like they didn't like come to that resolve by themselves. They had to be turned into candy to be quote unquote better. So yeah.
Or
you can't fix
people better. At least to be seen better in Princess Bubblegum's eyes, I guess.
Yeah. She is a perfectionist, isn't she?
She is a perfectionist.
That was. I thought that was also a notable exchange. Interesting to see how the themes TM develop throughout the series. Bespoken 4. So too fast on the Betty switcheroo. Yes, no.
I kind of want to say yes, but. Yeah, I feel like it's also like one of those things where it's been like since like we've introduced her character or like introduced her as a character, that's kind of always been like her thing is she's like, I'm just trying to fix Simon. And so I don't know, sometimes it's like a hard pressed, I guess, slap in the face for her. I don't know. Yeah. Like I liked it and I didn't like it. So
it seems fast compared to previous stuff. I think it's like much like needed for her. Like it definitely like is good.
I'm gonna be real with you for a second. All they do was just flock around a bunch of birds. Like I don't know. That doesn't really say to me, oh, like that's completely resolved or anything.
Okay, so yeah,
it's like she was like, oh, let's just like do this one thing and sort of make a step towards.
Right. Well, so I think her. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it was more so like a step towards her accepting like that Simon and Ice King are not the same person anymore. And so she was just pulling like things that she remembered from Simon and was like, oh, well, like I remembered that, you liked birds. And I think she even kind of like asked him, she was like, oh, like, do you still enjoy bird watching? Like, and then she had all of the birds, like, she produced all of them and everything like that. So I think it was like a good step in the right direction for her. I don't think it was completely resolved, but in terms of like where this whole elements thing is like going, I think that's like as resolved as we might be getting at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. It's not, not fully resolved. It's not like she's suddenly settled on this, but even taking a step seemed fast, but I think it was a good thing overall. Because
but then Patience notices her and freezes her. Like
right. So we have no resolution there, so we'll see what happens. But I did like it. It was a little jarring compared to what I remember, but I like the step in the right direction here. Yeah, so Patience freezes Betty, uses Betty to power herself to amplify the battery to enhance the elements of all the elementals and I guess section the world off, potentially how it used to be. I don't remember. We had that one episode that was in the super past.
Evergreen.
Yeah, Evergreen. So this is interesting. So we kind of, it's episode 1. It's like, here's what happened. Here's the problem. Episode 2, we know who caused the problem, exactly what happened. It seems to me like Patience, this just being a straight fix things and defeat Patience. It seems a little straightforward given we're immediately given the answer. What do you think about that, April?
I think I kind of agree that it's very like straightforward, but it's an interesting approach to take because it is a mini series. So there's 8 episodes. So it's kind of one of those things where they like, at least from from writing and like a writing standpoint and stuff like that, it makes sense to me because it's like, we've got 8 episodes. They're 11 minutes long. Like we have to get through what we can in this like very short amount of time, because I'm sure that if they wanted to, they could stretch it out for an entire season. But I think for this, it makes sense to be like, okay, here's your problem. Now, how are you going to go solve it kind of thing? And it leaves us like I said, I had so many questions after Bespoken 4 that I was like, okay, like I guess I appreciated it in terms of like the writing and things like that, and how to approach the subject.
Yeah. I love it from the perspective of we're getting like right into it. Like this is the third iteration on the miniseries that we've done. I think both of the other ones have struggled, from slow starts and saving too much for the end. I like that we're getting right into it here. I definitely skeptical that the structure is as straightforward as, potentially the immediate, like expectation would be of, okay, it's time to defeat patients. But, and I'm also very interested to see what we might do that's not that. But I definitely like getting right into things. How about this character of, Patience? I love getting back here to her. I really loved Elemental. I think, presenting it's a little jarring and a little fast, the reintroduction, and then like suddenly doing all this. Sam, what do you think of Patience, and what do you think of her role in episode 2 here?
She's like that hip teacher or like professor or whatever, and she like teaches like literature or something, and like she likes to go out and like have fun and like get coffee with the students in the morning or whatever. Yeah, she seems like that kind of a person. But I don't know, her role in this, I don't know, I guess it seems like it's going to be big, but I don't know, I don't really know, especially with the towering Princess Bubblegum just hanging out.
Yeah, maybe
in a big tower.
Yeah, I guess that could be, I mean, she caused that, but maybe that's like the ultimate thing to overcome. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of Patience, April?
I'm curious, especially about Patience, because I agree. I think Elementals was a very like great episode and everything like that, but I don't know. Like I guess I'm kind of waiting to see how this sort of plays out with her, like what motivation and things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like some motives from Patience. I mean,
bringing back the old ways into a new world.
Yeah, right. That's and I talked about how maybe this is the way the world used to be. She's definitely a character who in Elemental was coming from, I believe, was coming from the past, or is like reborn or something, you know?
Yeah.
So she's the incarnation of the ice elemental who was what's his face Evergreen, who made the ice crown. And blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That didn't quite work out in the, the human age. And then she, like, froze herself. And then we found her. And now she's doing all this stuff. And
Sam recaps Elemental. And okay. So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I did too. I really love this new somewhat focused direction for the show. Now, clearly, that was 30 episodes ago or whatever. Not that long. It's like 20 episodes ago. And it's not like we've talked about that since. But just going somewhere with, like, we had the mythology with the humans and islands, and now we're potentially getting into the mythology of the past of Ooh here with Patience and Elements. Really liking the focus direction with the show.
Dropping some mythology bombs.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think we need to, like, completely coalesce. I don't think that'd be very Adventure Timey to just get down to like a very like fulfilling and clear ending type of thing. But I do like us diving deeper into all of the previously sporadic and not in depth, like previously superficial elements of this show, and getting into like
slime.
Yeah, getting into all of the elements here, like is
the elements of Ooh.
Yeah, you're getting into the different bendings there. Therefore, bending types. Is really something that was always just a part of the show that never made any sense, and then they started to explain it in Elemental, and now we're continuing.
Would that make Candy air then? Because we already got fire and we got ice, and ice can be water. So we're left with slime and candy.
Slime is earth, yeah. Okay.
I don't.
Candy's
See, this is one the Elements mini-series, because there's too many questions and we don't have answers to them.
We need answers to all the questions, much like what is the parallel between each of the Adventure Time elements and the Avatar elements. These are the questions we need answered. So,
yes.
Yeah. Quickly, other elements of not intentional, of part 2, the Betty Ice King dates. Were you feeling the ship, April?
I thought it was hilarious, but I wouldn't ship it, because I think like it was just great, specifically because I know Ice King, and he is not a one woman / one princess man, and so I can't just see him settling down for Betty.
Yeah, but didn't he say like later, like he totally wants to be that guy?
Yeah, he totally wants to be that guy. Yeah,
he talks to his friends anymore.
But he also said that while drawing hearts around the lady's name and others, and circles, and I believe he has said that about like every princess. I know he's said it about like Princess Bubblegum.
This is a recurring thing with Ice King.
Yeah, it's just a recurring thing for Ice King. So I just really enjoyed, especially like I wrote down how I love that he's going on about this date and how it has so much potential, but then he's like drawing the hearts around others' names, signifying that he is not a one-woman man. So.
Yes, that was interestingly done. Yeah, one random thing I just remembered. I love Ice King being like the beam happens and he goes out and he's like, I took all the penguins I could manage. One. Yeah.
That's a lot of classic Ice King humor.
Yeah, really good Ice King humor. These two episodes.
It was great. I laughed so hard.
I hope it was Gunter. What was it, Gunter? I assume
probably.
So. Yeah.
I would assume it was Gunter.
And then
because
after
he was
Finn
talking to Gunter.
After Finn and Jake leave, and he's reading like the book about like what to do when your friends leave or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting book. Yeah.
You might want to cut this out. He flipped to this one page and it's like get blowed and.
Okay. But I wonder if that was that doesn't mean anything, children. But yeah, and the bird watching was one of the elements. Yeah, that was an interesting element of that episode.
An interesting how-to guide.
You
feeling the ship, Sam? What do you think of their date?
The inside looked like the fancy version of the Krusty Krab from that one episode. That was a nice mythology gab with
just because it's Tom Kenny. Yeah, that's why.
It made me hungry. I kind of want some like seafood, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really like seafood that much.
That's your big takeaway. I'll say it. I was feeling the ship. Okay. It wasn't.
We will let you set sail on that ship.
Yeah. I mean, look, no one's really shipping Betty and Ice King. It's more just like the attached to the emotional backstory between them.
Tumblr begs to differ.
People, we'll see about it. But yeah, no, I
that's like all I see anymore.
I do think the backstory with the two of them is one of my favorite elements of the show. So seeing them go on this is Sam linking to an image of the thing she referenced from the book. Yeah, and is good
podcast image.
Yeah. So, no, that's not, we'll see. Probably not. But, April, anything else from either of these two episodes you wanted to get into?
Hold on. Let me look over my notes.
Yeah. Go over the notes. While she's doing that, Sam, anything else off the top of your head?
That's a good question. I don't really remember.
I think we're,
what you call it? The Manicore guy.
Oh, yeah.
When Betty, like, when he gave Betty advice, and she's like, oh, we're like two shadows, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, that's depressing. Find another way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
April?
I do want to recall whenever Ice King was getting fitted for a suit, he asked for a onesie suit. And then, and then I enjoyed the color swatch book of charcoal 1, charcoal 2, charcoal 3, and they were all the same color.
Yeah. we had a random wizard kingdom, interlude there with I forget the guy's name, but yeah.
I
forgot it too.
That was very strange. This is an episode that featured that interlude, the book interlude. Like there's a lot going on in this one.
Yeah, but we got a nice suit out of it, so
yeah.
And he can wear that to other things. So
yeah,
exactly. We'll see if he wears that. Yeah,
very form fitting. It fits his like color scheme well. It's a nice suit.
Yeah.
I always forget how skinny he is.
He's jacked under it. Yeah.
I always thought you were bottom heavy. Nah, dog, that's so moo.
Yeah. Very, very confident. Yeah, with that. So Sam, overall, 1 and 2.
Thumbs up. I thought they were very good.
Yeah.
I thought they were a lot better than at least Island's first 2 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really remember what
little
State's
less
first
gay
2
though,
episodes
but-
were. Yeah, not the gay future radar, not going off probably. For
Okay.
Elements.
The good morning part was good in Islands. That's about it. But I don't know.
Yeah, Islands. Islands. It came out of
beats-
nowhere. So,
Nothing could beat Stakes in terms of pinging the gaydar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if this miniseries matches up in this crucial regard. Yeah. April, overall 1 and 2.
Overall, I'm very much into them, and I'm looking forward to devouring the rest of the miniseries. So it was very nice and refreshing for me, and it's kind of I feel bad because it's sort of brought me back to the Adventure Time series, because I felt like after the last couple seasons, I felt very lost inside of it, and it was hard to like kind of come back to it. So this is refreshing for me. So I'm about this.
Yeah, loved 1 and 2, parts 1 and 2. Very excited for the rest of Elements. I mean, yeah, I agree. There was a period where Adventure Time was down. I think we're solidly in the. I don't know when it started, but the Adventure Time,
the swan song of Adventure.
the Renaissance swan song of it ending. I think Islands was incredible, and there have been a lot of good episodes recently, like Elemental. So it's
the December period.
The past year or so has been very strong for Adventure Time, and I'm very excited to get into the rest of Elements. We will have coverage of the rest of it and the rest of this week, so check us out at overlyanimated.com and subscribe to us on iTunes, overlyanimated.com/iTunes. Consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, John, aka Garfield. Thank you, John, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, and Alex. Final thoughts.
Let's do this.
Yeah, bring it on. Skyhooks. Yeah.
Skyhooks.
Yeah, Skyhooks were good. We didn't give Skyhooks their due, but they didn't. No elaboration on.
They're just Skyhooks.
Ice King having.
Maybe that's another SpongeBob send off. The hook, yo ho, it's the hooks I'll never go.
Yeah, the hooks episode when they're No, not too much.
that episode happened like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
No, more than 15 years ago.
Too much SpongeBob. Yeah. There you go. Let us know what you thought of these, and we'll see you guys for the rest of Elements. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.